Hi guys, it is Friday the 21st of March. My name is Stephen. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We are Cold Blooded Sports. We are an ice hockey store based in Paisley in Scotland, and we document what we do on a day-to-day basis, which isn't very much, if I'm honest, right now. We are in the process of basically getting a store ready to go today. It's been a bit of a strange one. I didn't sleep very well last night.
I had extra hours at work to do it.
So Pamela and I have been busy with other things, me catching up with the back of my eyelids and Pamela with the fact that she's obviously been working. Yes, Pamela does have another job. I did have another job for a little while, and then obviously the store is now my main job at the moment. I am looking for another part-time job, something to kind of go around about the store. In Scotland, if you guys are from a different country by any chance, if you're watching, you will maybe understand that ice hockey is not the most prevalent of sports. It's one of these sports where it has got or had an insurgence in the last little while. It's not as busy as, say for example, Canada and America. So we're going to get on with today, and I'll come back and see you in a little while. So first job of the day, I thought you would like these. But seeing as the fact that in the last video we were talking about blade techs, check the bad boys out. A nice pair of gold chrome ones. Don't know if I would rock them, but I might rock a pair of red ones. So you guys might be wondering if there's something different that I'm going to have to do with the blade textiles. And when I mean something different, I mean the honing process. But the honing process, in my opinion, is no different from doing a normal skate. The only difference is, what I will say I will use is a rubber hone. So Nash actually do a rubber hone which is grit and rubber, and it helps for edge retention, and it helps for basically keeping your coating on the steels for the likes of black steels and any of your kind of chrome B steels and stuff like that. So just in case you were wondering if there was a difference, the only difference would be that I could use a rubber hone. You can get away with doing a normal hone, but you've got to do something called edge feathering. Right, so while Pam's dealing with a customer just now, I'm going to show you this one. This one came in today. This is a skater that I recognised her face from back in the day when I used to work in the Lagoon Leisure Centre. So this is her skate. I think she dropped it, and she's requested that I try and fix the toe box for her. As you can see, there's not really much left of the toe box. In the process of, oh, there we go. There is the tongue with half of the toe box, there is the rest of the toe box. So what I'm going to have to do is try and see if I can cut that out, take that off, and see if there's anything I can do for it. 90% of the time I would usually tell a customer, no, there's nothing I can do with this one, but because I actually have a donor pair of skates with a donor toe box, I'm going to give it a bash and see how I go, even just for content's sake. So she has actually ordered another pair of skates, but we're going to see how this one turns out. So literally 5 minutes after picking the stitching, this is what I'm left with. There's only just this little bit here that's left of the toe box. I'm actually going to pop the rivets out just now and see if I can get the rest of the plastic out from underneath it. The reason being is, if you actually look at the other side, this is the right one and that's the left skate obviously, but this is the one that I had out before to reinforce because it was broken. Now as we can see, there's a little lip here that actually goes underneath the actual toe box itself, so I need to see if I can get it to fit in here. So I also need to try and take the toe box out of this skate here, and then we'll see how we go. But I'm not confident in this one, if I'm honest. It's not confident in my abilities. It's not confident in the actual toe box itself being the right shape for the skate. It definitely does look a bit too big. We may have to heat the toe box a little bit just around about the top and try and get it to kind of fold in a little bit more. Obviously, because I have the right toe box and the left skate, this is obviously the different side. I'm going to have to try and see if I can get this to take a shape, or if it will actually fit in. Obviously this isn't going to be the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use the left one for the left skate, the right one for the right skate, just in case you think I'm being a bit silly. But this will be a good reference point to see if it's actually going to be doable or not. So we'll see. We'll come back to you and we'll see how we go. Well, catastrophe has struck, believe it or not. As soon as I started to take the rivets out, the actual footbed itself broke away. So as we can see, there is now a massive gap in space. The plastic in here is very, very, very brittle. As we can see, there is another piece of the footbed. So
very common with those skates.
Yeah, unfortunately, as Pam has said, she's hanging about in the kind of outskirts of the video. It would be really nice if she actually came into the video.
There you go, I'm in.
Right,
I'm in,
hold
I'm
on,
in.
I'll adjust it so that you're in. Right, there you go. Right, so anyway, with the older style skates like these ones, with that kind of footbed, with that kind of old plastic style, you tend to find that they just deteriorate. Unfortunately, they don't really last the test of time, and because of how brittle they are, you're not going to really get anything from them. The actual inside of the footbed itself here was cracked along here and here, so yeah, unfortunately we can't really do anything with this one. Luckily enough, the customer is going to go for another pair of skates. They did say that we could try them and see if we could fix them, obviously as a YouTube project, but unfortunately it's not really going to go any further. That is what's left of the Nike skate, unfortunately.
YouTube fail.
Yeah, big YouTube fail. So that was me originally got the other toe box as well. I got the other toe box off the other skate, and it apparently gives me the skate a little second.
Oh, a little bit off.
There's a little bit off. Right, so it would have been literally a case of trying to get the toe box to sit in the actual skate and then sewing it in place. As we can see here, when I actually get it lined up, it would have looked okay from the front, but from the sides you would have seen there was a massive hole and a space there, and a massive hole and a space there, which would have meant I would have had to have built something up to be able to make the skate actually look as if it was one piece. I would have probably have done that with my Old Faithful ballistic nylon and epoxy, and basically built a new footbed for that. But to be honest with you, if it was me that was having to, if this was my skate, I wouldn't be doing this much work with it. And the customer obviously has said that they don't want to be spending megabucks on trying to get the skate fixed. They're just going to go for a new one. So that one is now done and dusted. That's an epic fail from my point of view. Not necessarily an epic fail from my point of view, it's an epic fail on the point of the skate has just totally deteriorated and disintegrated, and keep pulling pieces of plastic out, and you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's another part that's just broke off. It's just so brittle.
Shouldn't be able to break like that,
yeah,
like toffee.
But what we're noticing is though, or what I've noticed, there is models of skates that this is happening to more often, and one of the ones that I've seen it happen to the most is, you'd have probably been able to see in the last video, the Hyperlite skates. The Hyperlite skates, the tongue actually, the tongue is connected to the toe box, and it broke clean off there and sheared exactly the same as the plastic that I've taken out of this skate is shearing. So you're talking that this skate's probably about nearly 25-year-old, maybe even a wee bit more. And then if you're looking at, say for example, something that's maybe a season or 2 seasons old, and that's happening, there seems to be problems with the plastic, in my opinion. But anyway, that's that one finished. I'm going to try and go on and do another job. We have another job which is sitting, which is re-rivet these. And
Re-eyelet these,
but the only problem that we have is I don't have the eyelets at the moment. I'm still waiting on them from the supplier, so I can get them re-riveted today, but I won't be able to get them re-eyeleted, so we might just wait until the order actually comes in. This one is also going to look as if it's going to need a slight repair up here at the top. It's near enough pulled all the way through, so that now means that I'm going to have to reinforce this whole area. I might actually be able to use some of the leather or some of the material from the other skates that I've just literally put in the bin. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to now have to look at, is reinforcing this one. As I have a quick scan over the other one, it looks as if the other side is exactly the same. We've lost an eyelet here as well. It's all the way through, as we can see just there. So what I'm going to have to do with that one is redo both top eyelets, which means I'm going to be adding some plastic and some leather probably. So it's a bit of an anticlimax today so far for the content. We are out of eyelet washers, which means I can't redo the eyelets, and obviously I've got to get a little bit of material here to be able to replace the broken eyelet on this skate and the other skate. It seems to be that it's the outside one, the left hand side eyelet, top eyelet, that's broken on both skates. So that'll be Monday or Tuesday's job, unfortunately, because well, I don't have the parts to do the job at the moment. How's your day been?
It's been busy today actually. I've had hockey skate fit, figure skate fit. The lady that had blown her toe box, we fitted a pair of skates for her. She's going to come back later on in the summer to have a look at the new jet speeds when they come out, because there's not an awful lot of the FT670s available for her just now, and that's the model she's kind of thinking as her price point. She likes the idea of CCMs because they're a little bit more aggressive, slightly in power. She feels like coming out of the old Nike ones, they were a bit more aggressive, so she wants to be still tipped on her toes a little bit more. She quite likes the idea of jet speeds, but there's none available, and she's not in a massive rush, so she's going to come back and see us. So we discussed all that, solved the problem with the receipt printer being printed, being faulty. Dealt with a few email inquiries.
What was your solve, your fix?
I've managed to turn on the email receipt, so I can email up another receipt from the till, which means everything goes through as normal, and then I just email the receipt rather than having to recreate them myself at the end of the night. I didn't realise it did that, so I'm glad I've had a nosy about for that. What else have I done? Matthew had tasked me with trying to find a replacement wall helmet for his wall goalie mask. So
a wall helmet for his wall goalie mask?
A wall mask for his wall goalie helmet. So having a wee nosy
wall mask for his wall goalie helmet. You try that again.
A wall mask.
Right, no, a wall cage.
Wall cage for his goalie mask.
There we go. Fourth time lucky.
One of them things, non-cert cat eye, so I was having a wee dig about to see if anything we can source fits it, or if we can source some wall ones, so I was having a nosy. So I was doing some bit of research for that.
Why are we having to try and see if we can source them from elsewhere?
Because the supplier that used to supply wall doesn't supply wall anymore, so there isn't anybody supplying wall into the UK as far as I know.
I think that was because they went direct to consumer.
Yeah, they were. But a lot of customers don't really want to touch ordering from Europe, don't like the idea of it. So I was trying to see if I could source a route for us to get it. But I haven't quite solved that one yet. Every time I sit down, there's a new customer comes in the door and goes, "I'm back up again." So yeah, that's the way it is for just now.
Well, it's a good complaint to be busy, I suppose.
It's very consistent. Every time I sit down to do some more work and get on with what needs to get on with, the door goes and another customer comes in and it's another inquiry and whatever else. So
do you know what would be really helpful?
I look at the camera, not you.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's why I'm right behind the camera. The other thing that would be really helpful would be if you actually ordered the parts that I needed so I could do the job.
Well, I meant to order it a couple of days ago and I didn't.
Many weeks ago?
It was only supposed to be last
Many
week.
weeks ago?
It was only supposed to be
No,
beginning of the
many
week.
weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I asked you to do it and you forgot it. So
I forgot it in the last Warrior order, so I put it in this order. This order was supposed to be, I was supposed to push this through on Tuesday and I didn't, forgot. And then I'm kind of waiting for it today.
Right, okay. Right, well, other than that, I don't really know what else there is that's going to be for today. We'll see what else today brings. We have had a few sharpenings. We haven't had any heat molds in today, but we have had multiple sharpenings, kept busy that way. But for just now, I'll come back to you in a little while. It is 3:49, as we can see. My camera work today is absolutely shocking. My hand is knackered. What that means is my hand doesn't work very well. I had carpal tunnel in it a couple of years back and I had a surgery in it, and it seems to have come back with a vengeance in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, it must be all of that screwdriver work I've been doing in the back with the custom skates, the 4000s that were in. Remember the ones I'm talking about? Anyway, right, I'm going to go. I'll speak to you guys soon. So I remember, who was the guy that came in earlier on? Roy, and where did he find us?
Found us on YouTube.
And when he came in, he knew my name and he knew your name, yeah. Obviously because of the YouTube stuff. And
he did his skate sharpened 9 years ago, and premise, he hasn't actually skated in 9 years. It's not like he got them done 9 years ago and then skated for 9 years.
I thought it was 15 years ago.
No, he got the skates 15 years ago.
Right, okay.
And he skated on them for short periods of time or whatever. He always wore custom fitted skates
It was Easton's. He was
in Canada.
So he spoke to me and told me a little bit about himself, and obviously the fact that he used to play back in the day and he used to wear Easton skates, and he decided that he had to change his skates because his skates were giving him an electric shock kind of feeling. So we had a visitor in the shop there, and obviously we never got to finish the story, so it's now 6 minutes past 5, and the story was that Roy had came into the store to obviously get his skates sharpened. He hadn't had them done in a long time. He then eventually managed to get me to do them. He had found us on YouTube and he came over just to try and experience what a good sharpening was like. He says he's been struggling to find somewhere that would be able to do them to his specifications, which was just genuinely just a half inch, but a high polish half inch. So I managed to do that for him, and he's away and he's going to let us know how his sharpening went and how he's getting on with his skates. So we may actually see him back in the store at some point, so it was good to see him. It was actually pretty funny when he came in and said hello to me by name, and then obviously by Pam by name as well, because obviously he found us on the YouTube channel, which was quite cool. But what are you up to?
I'm playing about with the new add-on I've added to the till where I can email the receipts out, but I can also add them onto our customer list in the till, so we'll now be able to add the customers while we're emailing the receipts rather than have to bulk order it, keep putting it on. So I'm quite pleased. It's just something.
So how long have you had this system?
How long have I been in this shop? 7 years.
So
8 years.
And this is us just finding out that we can do this?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
You can always tell we're a wee bit behind the times when it comes to the technology, but right, so anyway, for today that's us finished. We will catch you again tomorrow. Hopefully it is a lot busier and there is more stuff to be able to show you guys that we are doing. The figure skate order, that was something I was meant to actually talk about earlier on. There was a big figure skate order that was due today, which was delayed by about a week to 2 weeks. The reason why it was delayed was there was obviously stuff coming from European suppliers, and there was stuff that was in the warehouse. Now, unfortunately, the warehouse where we get our stuff from, or the supplier we get the stuff from, it now only has one person working in the warehouse, and that one person in the warehouse is having to pick and pack all of the products for all of the stores in the UK that obviously order through them, which will probably be just about every single hockey shop in the United Kingdom. So sometimes our orders are slightly delayed because there is only one person picking and packing and then obviously sending, and not all the time do the orders manage to get out on time on the right day because there is only one person doing the picking and packing. So we actually were meant to have our order yesterday and it never turned up, and today the order has now apparently been delivered round about now, I think, at home.
I think it was about 10 minutes ago.
So yeah, it was delivered at 10 minutes ago, so 2 minutes to 5 the delivery actually came in, which is obviously no use to us, especially if we're waiting for stuff and we've got customers that we have to let know that their products are here. So we have had a couple of customers that were not necessarily angry but disappointed that their orders didn't come in time. Again, that's out with our control. If there's stuff coming from the European suppliers, or if there's some stuff coming from Europe to our UK suppliers, we can't control that. We only have a rough estimate when the stuff is actually going to be here, and unfortunately sometimes this happens. But anyway, till tomorrow, I'll see you then. How's it going, guys? Saturday 22nd of March, it is 12:30 bang on exactly, so I was actually slightly early today. I'm in, I've got the shop ready to go. Had a bit of a drama and a nightmare today. Sam left the front door open and the gate opened, and the two dogs, the pups, ran away. We finally managed to get them after Pamela running about outside on the big square of grass outside the front of the house to actually get them. So she managed to get them back, and they are now here, and they will be in the store today, unfortunately. Little pains in my ass. Holly still has separation anxiety. She is crying the house down every time that she can't get anywhere near me, which is, well, don't understand why, but at the same point she's in a situation where she has to be at the shop today, so Lily will be accompanying her. So my dramas is that I think I've got a slightly torn left pec. I was in the gym last night and I was doing chest exercises and I felt a pop on a tear from here to here. So I have a how would I put it, a kind of burning sensation. So I'll maybe have to go to the hospital at some point, try and see if I can get it looked at, or try and get to a physio to see if it's worse than what I think it is. I actually don't think it's that bad, it's just a little bit uncomfortable. So if you see me walking about with my hand like that today, that'll be the reason. It depends if you actually have seen me walking about like that. I might be walking about normal, it feels okay just now. But yeah, that's today so far, so I better get the shutter up and get everything organised. I say I need to get everything organised, everything is already organised, it's just the fact I've got the TV to put on. And obviously, off the shutter. So anyway, I'll come back to you in a little while. We did get a big order of figure skates in last night, like, you're talking like 6 minutes towards 6 minutes to 5. Which was no point obviously having to go all the way down the road and picking them up, so I actually just left them at home and I brought them with me today. So I'm going to get them out and unboxed, and then we'll get some customer orders out the way as well. So I'll speak to you soon. So one of the first jobs that we've had to do other than skate sharpenings is a slice profile. I don't know if you'll be able to see just the red mark on there, that's how much I'm having to trim off of this. Reason being is the customer in question is tipping over his heels, so I'm just going to do a wee bit of trimming on the blade, and then I'll get them sharpened and get him sent on his way.
Move to songs we play together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day. Down, foot pushed on the pedal. Move to songs we play together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day. Back to the days, down memory lane. Back to the times when our life was a breeze. Feel the freedom again, my mind was at ease. The sky was so blue when we rolled down the street.
So the next job I've got on the agenda today is a little mount. So I'm going to put these steels on skates and then get the customer on their way. So let's go.
Driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal. Move to songs we play together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day.
So me being me, I set up to do that entire mount and I basically forgot to do the first skate. What I mean by that is I forgot to press the record button for the first skate. So yes, the skate is now, both skates are now done. They're ready just to get sharpened. I've got a sharpening here that has to be done. I have another couple of sharpenings that are sitting here waiting. These are customers that I've had to come back later on. They're basically having to come back later on due to the fact that we were so busy. Pamela has multiple pairs of figure skates that are sitting here. These are all orders that are ready to go out. So it's one of the things where we don't get any time. I'm not complaining in any way, shape or form. It's one of these ones where it's nothing ever comes when it's meant to come. Nothing ever comes, like the customers don't come and they're meant to come either. So these skates that are sitting here, they were all meant to be delivered midweek, which would have meant that we would have been able to get them up and in the store and get the customers told that their product was here. Now, obviously the situation is now that the delivery was late last night, and now we're having to try and get a hold of the customers to tell the customers today that they're here, so that means that we might be here a wee bit later today. Back again. Right, so this one is a bit of a strange one. We have two steels, and two steels are different heights, as we can see. So that's how much I'm having to take off of the other steel to be able to make the two of them exactly the same shape. One is an LS2, one is an LS4, so I don't hold hope for the LS4, they were notoriously really bad for being really brittle. So I still have some more sharpenings that are sitting here, and I've literally got most of my figure skates done. Haven't come back on in a little while because we've had about 15-16 pairs of figure skates that needed to be sharpened. So this is what's left of the orders. That's the stuff that Pamela still hasn't managed to get a hold of the customers for, or the customers are on the way to get. But I'm not going to record any more time lapse on the sharpenings because I know you're going to get fed up with them as it is. So I also had a good friend of mine, ex-Elite League player, James Wallace. He came in, he used to play for the Edinburgh Capitals. So James and I used to go to the gym quite a lot, and obviously his sister used to work in the store. So he's in to get skate sharpening all the way over from Fife. So yep, got them done, and that's his skates there, and now I'm working on his spare steels, so let's get going. So I wouldn't say it was an extremely busy day. What I would say was it was a very, very, very consistent day. There was a lot of figure skates and a lot of figure skates that left, a lot of sharpenings. So as we can see here, the figure skates are more or less replenished. There's a lot of these are orders. I'm not going to show you people's names, but any of the ones that you can see, like that one there, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that'll be 10. So there's 10 pairs that still have to be collected. So they will probably be in over the next couple of days, which will be Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday next week, and obviously Saturday. So that's pretty much it for today. As we can see, it's 5:36. I've finally managed to get off the sharpening machine. Every single time I thought I was getting a break today. I know it's a hardship running a business, I know, and that's my main job, this thing here, but I still have to clean the machine and I still have to hoover the store. So anyway, that's me pretty much done other than that. So it's been a very good day today. It was good in the sense that I spoke to someone about my chest, and my chest isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be with regards to the tear. Obviously if it was a full tear, then it would basically mean that I would be in agony and I would have to go for surgery. It's not one of them ones, it's just a partial tear or a little niggle, shall you say. It's started, how would I put it, it's not as bad after he did a little bit of treatment on it, so I'm quite happy with that. So we'll see how that goes as well. But try to think if there's anything else to tell you. We are due a Warrior order, we are due a CCM order that should hopefully be in next week. There is a couple of things that we're looking at bringing in. There is obviously still some stick manufacturers that we're still trying to deal with as well, to try and get some deals put in place and some stuff to be able to do some reviews. Obviously with me, with the slight discomfort in the chest, I don't really want to go and try and lean on a stick properly. I think I might actually have to take a couple of days off of actual skating and training, which is something that I really don't like the idea of. I like keeping myself active as much as I don't look as if I'm a very active person. I am a very active person when it comes to the gym and when it comes to hockey. But anyway, for today, that is us finished. Hopefully there's enough to make a full video out of this one. If there's not, we'll see you again on Tuesday. If not, thanks very much for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy.